Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fanboys, fangirls, and especially wrestling fans of all ages. You've come to the right place. You have reached the Vigilant Geek Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew PUZAK of Vigilant Geek Media. And with me, as always,
HOLDEN ORME, Vigilant Geek Media.
Yeah, he's also Vigilant Geek Media. And back on the show now for a third time in a row, wrestling guru Vin Scorpion.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, gentlemen, I understand that there's a very, very important draft that just occurred on Tuesday in Worcester, Mass. on SmackDown.
Yeah, the long-rumored brand split finally happened, and they went ahead and they did that by, the night before they established who the general managers are going to be, because the people who actually own the company are going to actually be doing company stuff. So they need someone to go ahead and be the face. So they picked a couple faces, Mick Foley for Raw and Daniel Bryan for SmackDown Live.
Right on.
And then you have the commissioners. Shane McMahon is the commissioner of SmackDown, and you have Stephanie McMahon as the commissioner of Raw. Yeah.
Well, that makes things interesting. You got brother-sister there.
Yeah, they're trying
brother-sister
to
quarrel.
and they play every angle they can. They got the sibling rivalry thing going on.
Right on. Yep, that one's always worked.
And then, yeah, but now that they've gone ahead and they've pretty much just split up the roster, and I mean, this is the first time, the last time they did the roster split when they had all the talent from ECW and WCW, it was kind of underwhelming because the amount of talent they had back then wasn't as good, whereas they just have so many people that it only makes sense to go ahead and split the brands.
And it just seemed like back then when they did have that first brand extension, when they had, like Ric Flair and Vince McMahon as the co-owners.
Right.
To me, SmackDown was just like a watered-down, filtered version of WCW.
Yeah.
And then Raw was WWE.
Yeah, WWE, they seem to have jam-packed, at that point in time, it jam-packed all of their, WWE core superstars in Raw, leaving SmackDown, like you said, as a watered-down WCW.
The B-plus players.
Yeah.
Well, not even... Yeah, just like I guess the B team really. Raw. I mean, they've still mentioned that they're gonna have Raw be the flagship show, which I guess it'd be longer because SmackDown's only 2 hours, whereas Raw is a 3-hour affair. And then they're going to be going ahead and doing those shows live on Monday and Tuesday nights, just like taking up like the whole front end of the week.
Well, if you're a wrestling fan, the one thing I can say is that, talk about something to look forward to at the beginning of the week. And then, you kill the beginning of the week, watching wrestling. And then what's left? You get through the end of the week. Well, the end of the week's easy to get through. So, it's actually, I like the time slots that they did choose.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
When I was younger, I always felt like they had SmackDown too late in the week. And then they've tried all different time slots for it. Friday didn't work real well. Thursday was just kind of... I never understood why they had it on a Thursday. It was probably just because it was a freed-up time slot.
Yeah.
I think they put it on Thursdays because that was kind of the time slot that TNA Wrestling had. And they were all over the place. They were at Spike TV. Then they went on, Destination America, and now Pop.
Oh, yeah.
And if you can't find those channels, well, guess what? Nobody really wants to watch TNA anyway.
Yeah. No, if you're such a specialty niche item that people need to jump through hoops in order to get to view your product, then you got problems. So, but anyway, happier things. Let's go ahead and go through this draft order.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing how this went down.
Yeah, so
this unfolded.
They went ahead and the feel was kind of, it It was, of course, it was staged, obviously, but they tried to give it a feel of to try to make it seem like other drafts, but like they didn't have every superstar available, so they couldn't do like the hand them the shirt or the jersey and they come out and take the picture. It was just more like, oh, you're gonna pick him? Well, we're gonna pick him, and then it went kind of like back and forth, and they'd do a little banter. They'd go and do about 2 to 5 picks, and then they'd have a match, and then they'd go ahead and do some more, and that's more or less how the night went along. So in round 1, Seth Rollins was picked number 1 overall by Raw, followed by the WWE champion Dean Ambrose, who went to SmackDown Live, and then Raw followed that up by drafting the WWE Women's Champion, and then and then SmackDown went ahead with the 4th pick and picked up AJ Styles, and then with a kind of a surprise pick at number 5, Raw went ahead and picked up Finn Balor from NXT.
And they were scheduled to have six members of superstars from NXT to be part of the draft.
They were, so he would be one.
Yeah, he's the number 1 draft pick out of NXT, which is a great thing because Finn Balor's been ready. He's been ready to come up to the main roster for a while now, especially with that last match he had with Shinsuke Nakamura. That was an instant classic right there.
Yeah, Shinsuke. Every time Shinsuke has a match with anybody, it seems like it's like belongs in the history books. I remember seeing the match he had when Sami Zayn just before he got called up full time, and that was insane. It was a wicked good.
And that was at TakeOver Brooklyn, I believe. It was right before SummerSlam.
It was a hell of a match. So, opinions on any of these picks, gentlemen? We got them right here on the screen.
Oh, I find it really interesting, for me being, the quintessential fan as a youngster, the women's championship, it didn't really carry as much weight as it seems to currently carry at this point in time. I mean, wow. That was a, 3rd draft pick, women's championship. So clearly that bracket is carrying a lot more weight nowadays and is just worth a lot more than it used to be, which I find very cool.
It's so much more entertaining than it was before. There were only really about 3 to 4 women on the roster who could really hang at any given moment in time, and now they got closer to like 9 or 10.
Way cool. Yeah, they seem to have, walked away from the supermodel type diva, and now it's like if you want to be a diva in the WWE, you better know how to wrestle.
Yeah,
and that's cool.
It seemed like for a while they were running like a Playboy farm.
Yeah,
like, hey, come learn how to take a bump over here, and then learn how to take a bump over here,
and then come learn how to take that blouse off. And bark like a dog. Yeah, see, those were the type of things that WWE slowly had to try to get away from because, Vince is catching too much heat. Having Trish Stratus, take off her blouse and bark like a dog, You can't really do things like that nowadays on television.
Yeah, he was demeaning to a lot of women. Making
big
them do
time.
Well, that was all part of the Attitude Era with like they're just like we're gonna make a huge scene and cause a ruckus no matter what.
The bra and panties matches.
Panties matches, yeah.
Having like fighting in the mud, in a big giant kiddie pool.
Like lowbrow adolescent entertainment.
Yes.
Oh, and it was, and let me tell you something. It really was great entertainment for an adolescent male such as myself at that point in time. But now, steering away from the whole degrading women bit. Like, all right, let's hire women that really know how to wrestle instead, and clearly they got something that's, like I said, just carries a hell of a lot more weight than it used to, which is an awesome thing for the WWE, in my opinion.
And it's not what I would see and how it is now. The women superstars, they're no longer called divas. They're considered just superstars now, which they earned that right. They revolution like the women you have right now: Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Bayley, All the women that are there right now, even Nia Jax is now going to be on, the main roster. We'll get to that soon. But it's like they're one of the boys now,
Right.
and most of the times they're selling out tickets because they want to see the women, and they put some phenomenal matches on. Even when Sasha Banks at WrestleMania, she went through the middle rope and in mid-air she just turned.
Wow.
And she just did like a almost like a suicide plancha.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa. And she gave real homage to Eddie Guerrero, Latino Heat, because when she saw him win that match against Brock Lesnar, No Way Out, with the little assistance of Goldberg.
Right.
And that just, a lot of people just look at that match. It's like, that's the reason why I did it. That's the match that got me into it. And she always wanted to do it.
That's way cool.
And so when you're a true fan of the business, it's gonna resonate into your career. And
right.
And she shows they show a lot of themselves now. It's like a lot of times they went a lot of, like, going off a lot of gimmicks, and now it's like they want to see some realness. The fans aren't dumb anymore.
Right, exactly.
There's no such thing as kayfabe anymore, but there is a few. You have a few people that want to keep their character, like Bray Wyatt and The Undertaker and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Bray Wyatt doesn't really kayfabe at all. He uses Twitter. like his gimmick is like, because with him, I think he's got like two characters. There's like who he presents himself when he does interviews to people. He just tries to portray himself as like this nice Southern guy, and then he's got this other persona when he's in the ring that, like, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take your soul from you.
The Eater of Worlds.
Yeah, so that's what they got going on with that stuff. So just going through round one again, we got Seth Rollins, who went number 1 overall, which I don't think that was really much of a surprise to anybody, really.
Yeah, especially with Stephanie McMahon, being, she's always been about Seth Rollins.
Yeah, Seth Rollins has always been kind of the chosen one. He's probably, I don't know, one of the top 5 most talented people on the roster right now, so no surprise there. And then just rehashing again, the WWE champion, Dean Ambrose. So I don't know what they're going to do with the titles, but as of right now, the WWE championship resides in SmackDown, which is, it's the marquee belt. So, like, you think it'd be on the marquee program. So I don't know. Maybe the belts would be swapped from program to program somehow through pay-per-views. Who knows? Then a lot of women's division got drafted in not in round 1, but just Charlotte for round 1, and then AJ Styles SmackDown again, and then Finn Balor from Raw. And so from there, they went on, and I forget what their warm-up match was.
I'm kind of in a blank right now.
Oh no, yeah, it was John Cena versus Luke Gallows.
Actually, not Luke Gallows. It was it was Luke. No, it was Luke Gallows from the club.
Yeah, and he was there, and then everyone showed up, and then what was it? Just and they're pretty much hyping up the match with Enzo and Big Cass.
Yeah, there's a 6-man tag at Battleground. It's gonna be Enzo and Cass with John Cena going against the club.
Yeah, and then it turns out that they got split up. So we'll go to round 2. Right, so they had that match, and they're just hyping up stuff, and they're like, oh my god, these guys haven't been drafted yet, and blah, 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 let's try to hype up something that doesn't really matter. And people like fake drafts anyway, because think about it, you got fantasy baseball, fantasy football, all sorts of fantasy sports, like craziness. People like to draft things, that's why. They love drafting things.
I think it's definitely a societal addiction. You get fantasy football, fantasy baseball, everything else.
Picking teams, back to childhood, picking teams.
Yeah, that's what it really goes back to.
They're like, I'm smart. I know how to pick the best team, though.
So, for round 2, looks like draft pick number 6, Roman Reigns, went to Raw.
He got booed out of the building without even have to be there.
Wow.
He did.
People really just genuinely don't like him.
Well, they should just make him heel turn.
Yeah.
Of course, then him and Seth Rollins would be a couple heels. Should be fine. Nothing wrong with heels. Although, like, so far, Raw's looking pretty heel heavy.
It typically always has been a very heel heavy show, from what I can remember.
Yeah, that's true. Everything's heel driven now. So then the pick number 7 was John Cena, which I think that was just a really good solid pick. So first of so far SmackDown's got a good solid foundation with AJ Styles and John Cena.
Yeah, so they can keep that rivalry going. And plus, it's just, if a lot of people don't know the history of John Cena, that on SmackDown is pretty much where he made his career.
Yeah, he did. He came on.
First match against Angle.
Yeah, he was wearing the green trunks, and he's just like, my name's John Cena, and then slapped Kurt Angle with guard.
And what makes you think you can do anything with it? Because I got ruthless aggression. And
Ruthless aggression, yeah.
And it was just like, what? Yeah.
Like,
No.
oh, his name John Cena? I thought he was the prototype.
Yeah, and I was just like, I'm so happy for him.
Ohio
But I think his
Valley
gimmick-
Wrestling. He was a prototype. That's right.
And in that class, it was him, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, and Batista.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
They all came up at the same time.
Interesting.
Small world.
Interesting. Yeah, I remember them all coming onto the WWE scene at the same time. Yeah. Yeah. Orton, Batista, they all in Cena.
What I did, I blinked, and then Cena got a new gimmick.
Oh,
Yeah.
The Doctor of
You know, the one-
Thugonomics.
The
Yeah.
one-
That was so awesome. Like, when he was a Doctor of Thugonomics, he wouldn't say the curse words, but he would pull up and you know what? I'm like you say a rap is like, there is no luck because I'm John Cena and I don't give a. And then everyone's swearing.
He lets the crowd finish it. Yeah.
Yeah, smart. That's a good way.
Wicked smart.
FCC can't come after you then if you got other people doing the curse words, dude. So round number 2, let's see, continuing around. Then Raw went ahead and picked up Brock Lesnar, which I just thought was dumb. Like, yeah, Brock Lesnar almost just belongs to all of WWE. The idea that, like, he'd even show up to a Raw is kind of laughable.
Yeah.
Unless he just showed up.
He shows up like once a year to squash somebody and then goes away.
And then I guess Paul Heyman's in a contract dispute with WWE right now. So, like, if your monster heel doesn't have his mouthpiece, like, Brock Lesnar's useless almost.
Like, he's going to start talking. It's like, where did he go, George?
Yeah.
Where did he go?
Absolutely. I mean, that would be entertaining too.
Yeah, because he hates doing mic work. You could just be like, I'm Brock Lesnar, and I fucking hate doing mic work. F5, F5, F5. Just F5s everyone in the ring, leaves.
What's he going to do when he
I get anxious around people. Kills the whole room, leaves.
And what's he going to do?
I'm gonna win as fast as I can so I can leave.
And what's he going to do when he has to talk in the mic again? It's like when he won the UFC championship over Randy Couture. You're like, do you see me now? Do you see me now? But what makes it good about this round of draft pick, because Brock Lesnar is now on Raw exclusively, and now he's going to be facing Randy Orton at Battleground, who was actually drafted to SmackDown.
Right.
And it's Randy Orton will actually be on the highlight reel of Chris Jericho on Battleground this Sunday. And it's been a while. It's been 9 months since he's been out of action.
Well, so
So that's going to be
last
interesting.
match he had was against Seth Rollins, and then
he
beat Seth Rollins, and then Rollins went on to win the title later on that night. But but he hasn't. I haven't seen him wrestle since then.
Yeah, because he was gone. Like after that WrestleMania match, he was around for a little while. Then all of a sudden, he just fizzled out. And I remember not too long ago on Twitter, he was like, "How many?" He's like, "I'm gonna to the 8.3 million. Like, what's up? Like, do you guys miss me yet?"
Yeah, that's rich.
Which I'm wondering. I'm intrigued to see what kind of run that they're gonna get ready on this time. But that's already a main event storyline with him.
Oh
going.
yeah.
And I'm just waiting to see how it gears up on the way to Battleground, which is kind of hard because there's really been no like promos cut between Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton.
Well, yeah, Brock Lesnar's got no mouthpiece,
And
and Randy Orton. I never imagined him to be much of a mic worker to begin
Yeah,
with.
he's not a big talker either, is he?
He doesn't have to. He's the Viper.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. I've been on countless gifts across the internet, giving people neck breakers or whatever the hell he
The
does.
RKO.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, I should
Which is
probably know
actually
that.
his actual initials of his name. His name is Randall Kenneth Orton.
Oh, how nice. And he just does it to people.
I would just love to do it like a thing like Randall.
Yeah, then the next time you think you're going to have fun, like, going on a diving board, you're going to get RKO'd out of nowhere because that's how it works.
Those are some
You're
of
gonna
the
be like,
best
"Oh,
finishes.
my name's Vinny, and I'm gonna have so much fun diving into this pool." No, and then splash, and then you might as well be dead.
Neck breaker and a belly flop all at once.
Yeah. So I don't know. Randy and Brock are gonna go do crazy suplex and majigs.
That's going to be a great match, though. Like, for an all-out, just solid, entertaining wrestling match. Like, you almost can't get better than those two guys going up against each other, I'd say.
And it's also Brock Lesnar's first match back since UFC 200.
Which is huge, yeah.
Yeah, although there's a huge controversy there, too, because Brock pissed hot for steroids.
Yeah, that's
the
right.
other guy wants half of Brock's purse, or he wants to be released from his UFC contract. It's a huge mess.
Yeah. It's a great time for Brock to come back to WWE.
Like, here you go, dude. Here, have some more juice.
Yeah.
Oh, you have one match. But guess what? Now you're suspended for breaking the zero tolerance drug policy.
Uncle Vince will take care of you. Here. Why don't you just take this syringe onto the ass cheeks there, bud, and then we'll throw you in the ring versus Orton.
Good to the last drop.
Yeah,
I want you to tear him apart.
Now go out there and kill that guy.
And here's your new mouthpiece. It's Harvey Whippleman. Why don't you bring back Brother Love while you're at it?
Right? So,
rounding out round number 2, which is, I guess it's every other pick, and then it's like a Raw pick, SmackDown pick, Raw pick, SmackDown pick, Raw pick, and that's usually how it goes. It's pretty much across the board. But number 10, Raw went ahead and they picked up the WWE Tag Team Champions, The New Day.
Which they've been having a really nice run, and by the end of the week, they said they're gonna break the record of being the longest holding WWE Tag Team Champions in history.
That's so crazy because it feels like there's so many of them that just held that for so long. And it's not like, I mean, they're going to lose it soon. There's so many good young tag teams in the WWE now. A crazy amount.
And that's what I hope, too. I hope they build up on the tag team division because they really need to. Because even when I was growing up, I loved the tag team wrestling. You had the Hart Foundation, Demolition, Legion of Doom. Even they had the Killer Bees, Strike Force.
yeah.
K&M Connection, the Dream Team.
The Dream Team, the $1 million team.
No, that was the Dream Team was with Greg Valentine and Brutus Beefcake before he became the barber. And Johnny Valentine was their manager. And then they brought in Dino Bravo, and at WrestleMania 3, they all turned on him because they lost. They're like, oh, yeah, the weak link. They leave him in the ring. They're all taking off in that little motorized cart that looks like a mini ring. And then eventually he came out and became the barber because he helped Roddy Piper cut and shave Adrian Adonis's head.
Oh, I never knew the origin of Brutus Barber Beefcake before. That's too funny. That's too funny. So, we got New Day headed to Raw.
They did. So that was the first. So doing another recap. That's very first tag team picked. And then other than that, it's just been pretty much superstars. So at Raw, we got Seth Rollins, Charlotte, Finn Balor, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and then the New Day. Whereas SmackDown's going... SmackDown roster's looking pretty good right now. John Cena, AJ Styles, and now they got Randy Orton. And it kind of looks like they're going for like that era where like they were the cream of the crop, kind of like the people that came in around the same time that John Cena came in.
Mm-hmm. Plus, you have these veterans that you need a good locker room general, and to teach these young athletes what they're going to be doing.
Those youngsters.
The youngsters.
Yeah, see, it's interesting seeing the rosters take shape because Raw is going to try to be like the hot young new talent with a big emphasis on tag team wrestling and women's wrestling. And then whereas SmackDown is kind of like you got like the old guard so far, but you also got some new talent coming up too.
And SmackDown's going to be, I believe they'll be focused on the new era, like more opportunities because you have Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan, together, and that's what Shane McMahon's objective was, pretty much, just like in his mission statement, if they call it.
Yeah.
I want to give these young guys from young men and women from NXT, have these guys polish their craft while at SmackDown, even though now it's live, which is like a big plus, because now both are on USA now.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time, SmackDown was always taped on Tuesdays and shown on Thursday or Friday.
It gives it more legitimacy.
Yes.
So
This time they can't edit now.
they can't.
Yeah. No, that's right.
So then in round 3, Raw started it out by taking Sami Zayn. SmackDown went ahead and took Bray Wyatt, which is just huge, because I kind of feel like Bray Wyatt should be on Raw, but
He seems like a Raw guy, yeah.
he seems like a Raw guy.
That's
but
what-
I could see him doing some.
I kind
SmackDown
of see
stuff.
them doing what Bray Wyatt on SmackDown, what they did when The Undertaker was kind of just exclusive to SmackDown. You have to have that fear. You have to have that one guy that can, like, just steal the show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's like the only guy in the company who does that, because the Undertaker is going to show up twice a year, and how many years is he going to do that for?
I know.
I'm pretty sure he didn't get drafted.
He's Undertaker. He'll just go where he wants to.
Yeah, that's
He'll
pretty
just
much
show
how it
up when he feels like it to kill someone.
is. He just does what he wants.
We'll see him around Royal Rumble time.
Yeah.
So then at number 13, Sasha Banks got picked by Raw.
Ooh.
Immediately followed by Becky Lynch, the first SmackDown pick for female superstar.
Ah.
And then rounding it out at number 15, you got Chris Jericho at Raw.
Chris Jericho.
Fozzy.
Everyone was chanting "stupid idiot" at him last night.
Stop it, idiot!
And just on Raw, you just be able to drink in Jericho all Monday night.
You stupid idiots!
Drink it in.
You ass clown.
You ass clown! You bunch of stupid idiots!
So they did that. So far, pretty decent amount of women going in the top 15, like 3, which is pretty big.
Some big name women.
And then let's see, round 4. Things are getting a little quicker now. They go with the United States champion Rusev
With Lana.
with Lana.
Lana's riding his coattails to the top.
That was part of the pick. The
Yeah.
same thing with Intercontinental Champion Miz.
With
He went to SmackDown.
and that's with his wife, Maurice.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
now-
she's just riding his coattails to the top there.
I don't believe that she's riding a coat. When Maurice came around, because you'd have to have some kind of thing, because she's always was a heel.
Oh, okay.
And so with like, okay, yeah, the Miz is like, okay, the Miz, I'm the man, I'm the A-lister, and now I have, my beautiful wife by my side. She can help distract and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's almost like a sensational Sherry type of role.
Right. I know what you're talking about.
And
Yeah.
before we had that, he was just stagnant for a while. He didn't have like that push, even though he was, when he brought back Maurice, and then he won the Intercontinental Championship, and that was like the very next day after, Zack Ryder won it at his big event, at WrestleMania. He left. He got to live his dream. It's a smart move on them creatively.
Yeah.
Gives you that, I'm better than you mentality, all that kind of stuff. Being pompous.
Yeah. Well, they got to find a balance
Mhm.
with the rosters. So they went ahead. They picked the Miz on SmackDown. Then they went ahead and we got Kevin Owens on Raw.
So there goes that whole end of the rivalry between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, because they're supposed to have their match this Sunday.
They're both on Raw.
Yeah, they're both on Raw.
They're both going to be on Raw. So
Which, in my opinion, I think that rivalry is kind of getting old to me. How many times are you going
Yeah.
to be fighting each other? Really, just get it over. Just hug it out.
they're trying to.
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, I guess the best part of the rivalry was already happened when they were doing indie stuff,
Mhm.
and now they're just kind of trying to bottle up like that same crazy intensity that they had when
Because there's no
from
room for,
before. 'Cause I haven't seen any of the promos that either of them have done. I imagine they're pretty good. Kevin Owens can definitely rock the mic. Not so much Sami Zayn. He's got, I don't know. I still, no matter how many times you talk about it, I'm never gonna get his gimmick. Like,
he's the non-gimmick gimmick.
I'm a Middle Eastern guy from Canada. That's his gimmick? That's his gimmick, right?
I guess. I don't know. Is he Middle Eastern?
He kind of looks it.
Oh, okay. I just thought he just looked like just a redhead French Canadian, and
Jay,
coming
see
out
it?
to like almost like Dropkick Murphy's song.
With this
Yeah.
with this crazy jingle truck music.
Like listen to come out to the Mighty Boss Stones or something like that. You know?
Yeah.
And then look at my fashionable cap. Very fashionable. So that was what, round number 4?
Yeah.
No, we haven't finished it up yet. So it was Owens, Baron Corbin.
The current reigning Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner.
Yeah, whatever. Like I'm sure I got banana stickers on like spelling tests when I was younger too.
Hey, I was always sick when I got a sticker.
Yeah. You feel special, Baron
Especially if they're one of those old school puffy stickers. You know. Here you go.
Yeah. Those were scratch and sniff.
Oh, I love the scratch and stiff ones.
Yeah, those ones were great.
Even the markers.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought Baron Corbin went to Raw. Maybe he's in SmackDown. I don't know how I feel about him. I think he's going to fizzle out.
Yeah, he's a fizzler. You can tell.
He just doesn't seem like he's got the physical talent, but he has like...
To me, he just doesn't have that intimidation factor to me.
He's just like,
Yeah.
I'm wicked huge, and I could probably hurt you terribly, but like, you're not really feeling it when he does that.
I used to play football, but I was third string, and I rode motorcycles. And my hairline is receding terribly.
He doesn't impress me much, that's for sure.
No.
Not one bit.
Not at all.
It's like you get that baseball card, you're like, motherfucker. I'm going to put this in my spokes.
Yeah.
And then here's a better pick though. Raw got Enzo and Big Cass.
Woo!
I'm a real big fan of them too. Plus, Enzo was just so awesome on the mic.
Oh, they're great. Yeah. Enzo is hilarious. They're both hilarious. They're a bunch of haters.
Got a couple haters.
Couple haters.
He was making fun. He was like, "In Luke Gallows, if there was like a contest and you were to win it, thanks for making the sacrifice." And he's like, what was the other guy? And Carl Anderson. I want to tell you something right now. You're like Times New Roman font. You're as generic as they come.
That's awesome.
And the guy's probably outside the ring. Hey, I'm yelling angry at you. Look at me. I'm visibly pissed off at what you're saying to me right now. I'm going to act tough. Look at me. I'm acting tough. And then, I don't know. That's just what I see when I'm watching TV. Freaking. Because you can't hear what they're saying outside the ring.
No.
No. Yeah, you can't. Then so they might be like half swearing. Of course, if wrestlers started swearing like full blown, like it would ruin professional wrestling because it would turn into this big matchup. Like, hey, fuck you, and then the crowd would be like, oh, and then the other guy in the mic would be like, oh yeah, well fuck you. And then the crowd would be like, oh my God.
And then we go, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Then everyone starts chanting that, and then like whoever's on the color commentary, people have lost their minds.
It's pandemonium.
4-letter words are filling the auditorium. This is anarchy. This is anarchy.
Well, even back then when they would chant an asshole to Vince McMahon, and then Stone Cold was like, hey, if you hear about a few, you're about 40,000 people calling you an asshole.
Usually they're not allowed to do that. The FCC must have been like, what about our good, clean American fun?
They probably hate Vince McMahon too, so they said, you know what, we'll let this one slide.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe he should run for president. At least I can vote for someone.
Yeah.
Me.
I'm going to body slam the White House. White House mania.
Yeah, that's the next pay-per-view. The wrestling in the White House.
And in this corner, you have Barack Obama teaming up with Michelle Obama, and she's going to hit us with some vegetables from the garden.
Someone gets power bombed through the Constitution, and then Mick Foley goes ahead and freaking mandible claws somebody with it.
In the Lincoln bedroom.
And then they're like, it tastes like old ink.
Or sweaty balls.
Well, that would be a very interesting pay-per-view. You know, if Vince ever runs for president, maybe we'll see it someday.
Yeah,
but
we tried to get his wife in office. It didn't work.
Why don't we get back on task here with round number 5?
And what a round number 5 was.
5th round of the draft here.
Yeah, so by now we've already had about 20 picks to the roster. Pretty sizable amount. But rolling in these next 10 picks are the last televised picks, and then everything else is just probably something that people in a room were like, where do you think this guy should go?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and you know,
That's a good Triple H impression.
yeah,
Holden.
thank you. Thank you. All right.
John Laryngitis. Anyways, continue.
So, starting out round number 5, we got Gallows and Anderson going to Raw. So they're splitting up the club, which I don't really think they're splitting them up all that much because Finn Balor is going to be in
That would be a good one.
in Raw. So then they're going to have a new club, or like the club will be represented in like 2 on both SmackDown and Raw.
So like NWO Hollywood and NWO Wolfpack.
Yeah, if I don't know, the club seems more exclusive than that. NWO, all you needed to do was wrestle for like WWE for like a match or show like been around WWE. Because you remember in WCW, everyone started becoming part of the NWO, which like defeated the purpose. Because it used to just be old WWE guys.
Yeah.
Instead, it was like everybody. And it was just like, wait, what?
And the one weird thing of even going to the NWO, like the Wolfpack, after all the year, all the months in about a year or so that Sting was totally against the NWO, then he joins up with the Wolfpack, painting his face red and black, and even being with Lex Luger, Conan, and Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when it lost me. And then it was just like, you're supposed to be like the guy, and then he wasn't the guy.
Actually, the guy is Roman Reigns.
No, he thinks he is.
Okay.
He's a guy with a prescription.
Adderall.
Yeah. So what? We're doing round number 5?
Yes.
All right, so number 2, American Alpha ended up going to SmackDown. And this is like kind of a steal pick. Like, these guys are wicked and entertaining, crazy good. Like, they can do all moves from power bombs to flying elbow drops. They're freaking nuts.
And who they kind of remind me of, I don't know if you remember back when Kurt Angle, they brought in Shelton Benjamin and
Oh yeah. And Charlie Haas.
Charlie Haas. You know, what do you call them? It wasn't the Real Americans. Or
I think it was just Team Angle, wasn't
Team
it?
Angle, yeah, it was Team Angle.
Team
He
Angle,
always
yeah.
come out. He was out for a while. They bring his picture out. Big old portrait with his medals hanging out.
Yeah,
Remember when Los Guerreros, Eddie Guerrero, and Chavo stole it?
Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, I think American Alpha has got a pretty bright future. And that's good.
They were what Jim Ross would call blue chippers. You know, they just have that ed factor. They balance each other out very well.
Well, they got like they're able to harness that like dude bro energy, and then plus they're really good at like just like the moves and everything, like wicked fun to watch. And then they're high energy too, so they're fun. They're fun. Then following that, you get someone who's not as fun with the Big Show.
'Cause he's a big slow.
Taking up your roster spot.
He's a big man and he's taking a big dump.
The funny thing is in actual all reality, like Big Show should like have won the title and not have lost it for 20 years just because he's so much bigger than everybody else.
Well, it's good you have Big Show on here because he has 20 plus years experience. He is a veteran, and he can pretty much mold the young locker room.
That's true, but I'm wondering how. Well, for him doing certain moves, there's a lot of moves that people physically just can't perform because of him, because of his size. Like if you're not strong enough to pick up a guy, you can't really do it. So that's when I don't know. That's a lot of matches with small guys versus big guys usually end up being kind of boring because you're like, all right, normally you're just gonna go like the big guy's gonna beat the small guy. If the small guy beats the big guy, it's a nice David versus Goliath story, but it's also like come on, like the big guy let him have it. And then it's always moves where the little guys doing drop kicks at the knees and stuff, and like, oh, Halia, risky offensive maneuvers here tonight. Oh my goodness, it looks like he's going for his knees again. His knees.
You know, I'd like to see Swoggle versus Big Show. Let's do it. Let's do that match. I think that match would be, I mean, maybe a little unfair, but I think it would be a very entertaining 2-second match.
It feels like the type of thing they'd have on Sunday Night Heat, and then and then Stardust will show up because it's like, I'm the Lord of Sunday Night Heat.
Well, Stardust doesn't show up anytime soon because they they released it now. It's just as Cody Rhodes again.
I've been released, denied.
And Swoggle too. He's not even part of WWE, but it'll be funny to have him run around. You have the Benny Hill music running going on.
Oh boy, and Big Show's trying to catch him, and he can't catch him. He's too slow.
And he's out of breath, and he passes out, and he pins with the tadpole splash.
Yeah. Oh man, now that's entertainment.
And then he chokestamms the little man.
And then he squashes him right in the throat
like a bug.
like a bug.
And he throws him through the Titantron from the ring. Man, he threw him like a lawn dart.
Oh boy,
He did.
So we just got a little bit in regards to round number 5.
A few more picks in round number 5. We follow Big Show by Dolph Ziggler going to SmackDown Live, and then followed by a more exciting pick, Nia Jax going to Raw from NXT.
There's a lot of good potential matchups with Nia Jax, especially coming up, especially going against Sasha Banks, going against Charlotte, even Paige, and just I hope they make her a very dominant women's wrestler.
She's the closest thing to a monster heel that they've had since China, really.
Or even Awesome Kong. She
Yeah.
was known as Karma. And
Yeah.
She didn't last too long because she got pregnant and she had to leave.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Can't really take a bump when you got a bun in the oven.
You can't have a bump with a bump. Baby bump, that is.
Too many bumps.
And with
To hell with the abortion clinic. Come here, I'll give you a bump.
and then,
all right.
and with round number 6, when you put it up, you have the returning Neville going to Raw.
Neville's coming back. Yay. Well,
Neville's just a great athlete. I've always liked him.
He's one of the most premier cruiserweights that they've had in a long time, which is interesting. What, did he get hurt? He needed to, or they just need to give him some time off?
I think he got injured. I don't know what kind of injury he had. Most likely with people that are high flyers and daring, mostly it's going to be their knees or their shoulder or something like that. But the things he does in that ring, he definitely earned that moniker of the man that gravity forgot.
Oh, absolutely.
His hang time is impressive.
You should just start doing all those moves, but bring a skateboard into the ring with him.
I'll be like Johnny Ace.
And then he does all those flips and stuff, and he'd be like,
"That's the Ollie 360
this
flip."
is totally gnar. No? Do they talk like that? I don't fucking know.
I don't know. He's English. They probably do.
Nobody.
I'm on a bloody
knows.
skateboard.
So
Coffee, tea, and me.
Oh, light and creamy.
Following Neville, we got Natalya going to SmackDown.
So I don't even know who the hell she is. I guess she's
Natalya Hart.
So she's actually direct bloodline relative.
Jim the Anvil Neidhart is her father. She's been.
No shit.
She's been in W for a while now.
So
I didn't know that, though.
But now-
acknowledging the family lineage.
And now she's a heel.
Well, yeah. Isn't she supposed to be Charlotte's?
Oh, she's Becky Lynch's big rival right now.
Yeah, but I thought she was Charlotte's she'd escort her ringside.
No,
and
that's
stuff.
her first name's Dana.
It's somebody else.
Yeah.
All right.
Damn, I gotta get into these women wrestlers. Just the names, the exotic names. They seem like very charismatic characters.
Yeah,
and,
it's not like it used to be where you'd have Sable or somebody else.
it's I mean that was a different type of charisma, sure. but yeah, no, it genuinely seems like the women's bracket is the place to be as a viewer nowadays. They got some talent.
Wicked fun. And then there's still some that you haven't heard yet. I don't believe Bailey got drafted at all. I think so that she'll be coming up. She's the biggest face that women's wrestling has ever had.
She's she's the best face, and plus, I think she has when she was the NXT champion, NXT Women's Champion. Even now, she helps new talent get developed a little bit. Teach them the ropes and stuff like that.
That's true, but she's ready to kind of do other shit.
She's due, and people even chant her name during the draft.
Oh.
Did they? Yeah, she's got a big following. Eventually, they're gonna have no choice. They probably want to just kind of
Just show up randomly after a pay-per-view on
doing
Raw.
some things. She'll end up probably knowing her. She'll show up and then get her acid handed to her hard, and then just kind of like one of those group attacks. So it's not even a match. Just like chair, and then 3-on-1, and then that'll be your intro. That just seems like the type of thing that would happen to Bayley.
Well, it could be a possibility because with Nia Jax being on Raw, you can probably see Bayley coming back. She came back from an injury, but I don't think she really got a really good chance to like.
I think Bayley would end up on SmackDown because they need a stronger. Right now, they have Becky Lynch and Natalya, and that's it. So yeah, and then pick number 28. Natalya was 27. Cesaro.
The Swiss Superman.
He goes, and then Alberto Del Rio goes to SmackDown, and then Sheamus goes to Raw. Sheamus just seems like this great physical talent that just can't he needs a mouthpiece, or he needs to kind of get it together. It just seems so goofy.
I'd say he needs like a complete makeover in regards to gimmick. I think he just needs, or he needs to expand upon the gimmick he already has of being Mr. Irish. I mean, maybe he can expand on it. I mean, but yeah, he's kind of dead in the water right now, from what I can see.
I don't know. I think New Day should just let him get in on their thing, and because he's already. You remember how silly he was when they first started doing League of Nations stuff? How are you serious? This adult stuff? No, this is some New Day stuff. He needs to be hanging out with New Day, doing New Day things.
Silly stuff. Yeah.
Riding unicorns with rainbows.
And leprechauns.
Yeah, they'd go riding leprechauns and unicorns, and then everything would be great and not booty. Yeah.
Nice plug.
Yeah, well, it's not really a plug. It's just the thing. So then I guess they announced these. It was a special live thing that they did on WWE.
On the network.
On the actual network.
Yeah, okay.
So, and then they did round number 7. They did Golden Truth went to Raw. The Usos went to SmackDown. Titus O'Neil went to Raw. Demon Kane went to SmackDown. Paige went to Raw. So, some pretty interesting stuff right there. Titus O'Neil is a guy that, they just don't know what to do with. Paige is a great talent, but she's getting too big for the business and doing drugs.
Too big for her britches.
And then the Golden Truth are just kind of more of a developmental tag team that'll probably be fed to other tag teams.
They are very entertaining, though.
Are they?
They're very entertaining.
That's a good thing they're on Raw, I guess. And then the Usos went to SmackDown, which something they need. SmackDown needs another strong tag team.
And Titus O'Neil, he has so much potential, and I don't understand why they don't give him a good push. He has all the chops to be a very dominating wrestler.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the mic work, though. It's that rare thing that you would be able to have all the physical gifts and to be able to go ahead and run your mouth.
The thing he really needs to do, I think Titus O'Neil needs to bring a lot of himself into his character. Just to have that.
Well, that might be holding him down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a secret that racism is run rampant in that industry, and Vince McMahon has a tendency to pick certain people to be title holders. So, I don't know. There might be a certain amount of that. I don't want to go ahead and accuse people out of nowhere, but, historically, it has been an issue. Perhaps it needs addressing. Not by me, though. We only got so much time left on the podcast. So, so Demon Kane went ahead and he snuck in there at the end. So then when round number 8, Darren Young goes to Raw. Kalisto goes to SmackDown. So it looks like they're kind of... No.
Looks like the Lucha Dragons are going to be split up.
Looks like they're split up, yeah, because Sin Cara ended up going to Raw. Naomi goes to SmackDown, which I don't know who Naomi is.
Naomi is... She's actually married to Jey Uso.
Okay, so
the Usos
that
gonna stick
means
together
that
with
she
her.
gets drafted?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
she's a
I gotta
separate
watch
talent.
more.
It's been a while since she's been on TV, but she's very talented. She's really good at what she does.
I gotta watch more wrestling, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So then Jack Swagger, who's just
What's he, a pirate or something?
nah, he's like he walks into the ring and he wears all this sergeant major rank, and it's kind of weird looking. And then he just
So he's playing off as like a fake military guy?
He's the all-American American.
Oh.
He's like to me, he's like the watered-down version of Kurt Angle, which I would love to see Kurt Angle come back and give him an ankle lock.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, Kurt Angle had charisma and all sorts of stuff that Jack Swagger.
Kurt Angle won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck. And he had the flu that day.
And I drink milk.
And he drinks milk.
So then after that, is the Ascension, which I don't know. I don't even know them. Those are the Armenian-looking dudes who got like their ass handed to them by everybody that one time when they debuted, or no?
They were really dominant in NXT, and I don't know what happened when they came there, but I guess they got a lot of heat and they got picked on because they looked like a generic version of the Legion of Doom and the Road Warriors, and they got their asses handed to them by the NWO, and because they were kind of like, disrespecting all of like these.
The NWO? Wait, with the NWOs around right now?
Well, they brought them back. It was like they call it Raw Reunion, and you had Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and X-Pac show up.
Oh,
then all of a sudden, then the APA, then JBL was at the announce table. He took off his shirt. He's like, I made a phone call, and all of a sudden he rips off his shirt, and out comes Ron Simmons, or like his character with Farouk with the APA. And then the New Age Outlaws came out. He's like, yeah, we got thoroughbreds, we got Mustangs, but who brought the jackasses? And then he just started whipping his ass.
That's rich.
Craziness. And then, so Ascension, wherever they are. And the Dudley Boys went to Raw. Zack Ryder goes to SmackDown. Summer Rae goes to Raw. Apollo Crews goes to SmackDown. That's a wicked sneaky one. He's like totally the type of guy you want to have on SmackDown.
He has power. He has agility. He has a lot of good charisma. I see him as getting a good push.
Yeah, no, he's got all the athletic gifts. I was expecting more guys like him and Sami Zayn and Owens to be kind of on SmackDown, but it seems like a lot of the premier NXT guys are going straight to Raw, which is they're probably going to try to get them to be the future of the company within the next 3 years, I think. Right? Of course. I'm always right. Mark Henry is still around. He's going to Raw.
He still has a contract?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's almost 20 years now.
He debuted in, I believe, 93, 94, but he was going to buy that. Because when he was Olympic powerlifter.
Yeah, no, he was. He actually competed in the Olympics the deadlift and stuff. The guy was just as huge, and he lost so much weight to do pro wrestling. Like, he used to just be way bigger. And then to kind of do that stuff, and then they had that sexual chocolate thing, and then he just faded away.
That was so awesome.
But it was a pretty sweet ride up until that point, because sexual chocolate was a hell of a time.
Being in love with Mae Young, and then she gave birth to a hand, and they're all throwing up in the living room.
It was such silliness back then.
Yeah, what was it? He was a tag team with the Godfather for a little while, and and the Godfather would just keep feeding him hoes.
Like what was? Did they just go by Mark Henry and they call it like sexual chocolate and the Godfather? They could have probably called it like chocolatey hose or something like that.
Yeah.
They didn't have the hindsight, I guess.
Once again, another point in WWE history where perhaps women weren't portrayed in the best way possible.
This is like the funny thing is, it's like this was like the late 90s. You'd expect to see that kind of crazy shit more like in like the 40s or 50s or something. Like, oh, come on, you young lass. Don't get your bloomers all in a bunch.
Is that from the bygone era?
Yeah. It's like, this fine gentleman's a warrior among men. He goes out and does gladiatorial deeds, and you need to service him. And like,
that's wicked good.
Like if they did, they could do that with the vaudevillains, I guess.
Yeah.
that should be something that they do.
You should be their manager.
Once again, probably not something they should do, though, because once again, WWE is trying to get away from that kind of behavior. But
No, well, they're more empowering now, or at least they're portraying themselves.
Oh,
that
yeah.
way.
I'm just glad that the women are getting the respect they deserve instead of being treated like an object.
Ooh, here's
Right.
another NXT pick.
Right.
47 after Mark Henry, Alexa Bliss from NXT.
Yeah, she's a
She
pretty
goes to
good heel.
SmackDown?
Yeah, she's a pretty good heel.
Alexa Bliss.
wow.
And then, let's see, and then round 10, we get some more.
We got all this female talent I have to go look up on the internet after this.
You gotta find a list of names. So then they did round 10 with Braun Strowman goes to Raw. So they're separating the Wyatt family. Makes me wonder if they're gonna try to maintain solidarity across both brands, kind of like the club might. Breezango.
That's Tyler Breeze and Fandango.
In Fandango, yeah. They found something to do with both those characters.
Then Bo Dallas is on Raw.
You better believe it.
Eva Marie goes to SmackDown.
Yeah, she went to NXT for a little while to do her craft, and she's like a kind of like a heel. And plus, for a while, herself and Nia Jax were kind of like a tandem, and that kind of reminds me of like Shawn Michaels with Diesel or Shawn Michaels with Sid Justice.
Right.
Because sooner or later she's gonna do something to piss off Nia Jax, and then
Right.
they're gonna have a rivalry going on, and then she's gonna get her ass whooped.
Exactly.
Oh, man. And then they're gonna do the special moves on each other. You and me, special moves. Coming Sunday, special move. Yeah, it's going down. What?
What?
Well, we got another list.
What?
So, and then Shining Stars went to Raw.
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we're awesome at podcasts.
Oh, Cowboy Bob. I think that's Cowboy Bob Orton and Dusty Rhodes. They formed a tag team, and yeah, they're the Shining Stars.
Oh, well, they're good enough for me.
No, that's total misinformation. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, because
Oh, man, no, these saucy, the vaudevillains. They're going to be on SmackDown. Oh, it is just
Awesome.
It's one of the weirdest tag teams they have because they're supposed to be these old-timey guys who like to do the fisticuffs.
Right.
Like with the old-timey way with the dukes are up, and they're like, see, now I just need to extend my arm forward, and I can do it too fast. You won't be able to handle me.
Do they have curly
Yes, they
mustaches?
do.
That
They
is
do,
awesome.
yeah.
Simon Gotch wears this little singlet, and he's always doing like the kicking up, like they'll click the heels together.
That's awesome.
Every time they do their entrance, the entire TV goes black and white.
That's awesome.
And then and there's no speaking. They just got the piano. Like it's like, oh man, they didn't have the talkies yet. And
That's so silly, but so awesome at the same time.
yeah,
Get the flappers.
well, that was one of the first NXT matches I ever watched. They went up. Let's see, Vaudevillains went up against somebody, and they ended up winning the tag titles from them. And then it was this other team, plus they had a female wrestler with them. But then all of a sudden they announced that the Vaudevillains had their female wrestler come out, and her name was Blue Pants.
Yeah, that was Alexa Bliss. That was Alexa Bliss with the Blake and Murphy.
That's her?
Yeah, that's Alexa Bliss, and she was like their valet for Blake and Murphy.
So Alexa Bliss is Blue Pants?
And that was one of the rare moments. The
Blue
Vaudevillains,
Pants.
the Vaudevillains weren't villains anymore. They were like the Vaude faces.
Vaude faces?
The Ford Good Guys.
Wow.
The protagonists. So wait, so Blue Pants got drafted before the Vaudevillains?
I don't think so.
Yeah, they did. See, here's her name right here, number 47, and then the Vaudevillains got drafted at number 43.
No, Alexa Bliss is in Blue Pants. Alexa Bliss is just Alexa Bliss. And
What?
She was the valet for Blake and Murphy. The
So
tag
who
team.
the fuck is Blue Pants, Vinny?
It's Blue Pants. I don't know.
You don't know who she is?
I don't know her real name.
She's like this mystical creature.
All I know is I was watching a YouTube video. It was the Blue Pants hanging with Blue Meanie.
Blue Meanie. Now there's a wrestler. Need to bring him back. Well, then the final round right here. So we're going to go over this final round. Then we'll talk about who didn't get drafted and then final thoughts. And then we're going to go ahead and throw up the deuces. Okay?
Okay.
Right. So now round number 11, we got draft number 4 at 54. We got Alicia Fox to Raw.
And she's making a return.
Eric Rowan went at 55 to SmackDown. Dana Brooke goes to Raw. Mojo Rawley goes to SmackDown live from NXT.
And so you'll have Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder, who know as the what do you call them? The Hype Bros.
The Hype Bros. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. And then so they're doing that. And then we got Curtis Axel going to Raw. And then Carmella going to SmackDown from NXT.
And she used to go with, she's the Queen of Staten Island who used to come out with Enzo and Cass.
Yeah, so we'll see how she goes. So, and then we got, who's this? Heath Slater, undrafted.
He's currently injured now. He got injured in a house show. I believe it was on Sunday or Saturday.
So he'll show up soon. So, like, who are the big names then that didn't get picked up? Bailey, Samoa Joe. The American Alphas came up quick. I didn't expect to see them quite so soon. What's that tag team from NXT? The Revival, is it?
Yeah, they're very good. I do like the Revival, and I think they're give a little time.
Wicked solid, like aggressive, old school style tag team, like
the Blackjacks, or even like Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson.
They're just they're good, but they just don't overwhelm you. But like they have the talent that you just kind of feel like yes, they should be there. So I think within the next 6 months, right?
I believe so.
Because eventually some of these people just aren't going to pan out on the roster.
Because right now Samoa Joe is currently the NXT champion.
So they're probably going to have him keep that long enough until they've developed someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Shinsuke Nakamura didn't get picked up either.
Yeah, it's going to be a while.
In NXT.
It's going to be a while they want him to have some like epic matches, and I'm pretty sure that sooner or later, I believe that Shinsuke will probably face Samoa Joe, and then when Samoa Joe loses to him, and after like a series of 3 matches, and eventually Samoa Joe will make his debut on either Raw or SmackDown.
I don't know. I think SmackDown for him because
I think that'd be a good fit.
I think they're trying to put the top young talent in Raw right now. I felt like SmackDown's such a solid roster though, but like the SmackDown just seems more lean. You got a lot more sure things in SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody from that list that was just picked on SmackDown, like, they can definitely be in the business. They're either been established for over a decade, or they just came out of NXT and they're wicked pumped and like ready to go. So I don't know. I got this good matching, and then you got to figure out what they're gonna do with the belts, or like are certain belts just gonna kind of be traded back and forth between the two brands.
I do hope they just have one major WWE champion and WWE Women's Champion, and then the rest, they go back and forth or face whoever at a major pay-per-view. But I like how it's going down because you have Randy Orton going against Brock Lesnar, who are now both on separate brands, and they're going to be facing each other in Battleground. And I believe that, we talked about it earlier before the podcast started, about how Battleground could be like the Raw versus SmackDown. Because before they used to have bragging rights. It was like Raw versus SmackDown.
No, it looks like they went ahead and selected everything, so it had a very much a Raw versus SmackDown feel for this main event.
Yeah, and they have a lot of matches too, be going back and forth with each other. Like, well, with one Randy Orton and then Brock Lesnar, that's gonna be a good match. I want to see what Randy Orton brings to the table for that one. See how long it's been. He's been out for a while, and now he's probably hungry. He wants to prove that he's still the Viper. He has a lot of years under him, too, as long as he just takes it easy. And you have the 3-man tag with Enzo and Cass with John Cena. And so that'll be the last time you see them tag teaming up together, because now them two are going to Raw and John Cena going to SmackDown.
It'll be, it was a nice little thing they had going for them for a little while. I thought it really was good. But all in all, what do you think happens? Like, I think somehow Dean Ambrose retains the title at Battleground.
I would like to see him remain champion. But that match is like kind of like been what everybody's been wanting to see. All 3 members of the Shield in the same ring together. We all know that Roman Reigns is going to get booed, and if they I really don't think they're going to give Roman Reigns the belt back. And if they have that one little swerve where Seth Rollins does happen to win, and he just picks up the pieces like a vulture, and he's like, now the champion is now exclusive to Raw, and like they did once before, like when Brock Lesnar was the undisputed champion when he beat The Rock, and then he had that brand extension, and then finally like Stephanie McMahon was on SmackDown. She's like, well, we just signed Brock Lesnar to SmackDown, so now you have to get your own champion. And that's when Eric Bischoff pretty much just awarded Triple H with the World Heavyweight Championship, the big gold belt, with the one that Ric Flair had, the old WCW Championship. As far as like the matches go in Battleground, I'm looking forward to seeing the match between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, because that's going to just be a brawl.
Well, it's going to be an Iron Man match.
Oh, it's going to be Iron Man?
Well, I mean, it just feels like it would be. Like, I don't think it's going to be less than 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to go
between those two. I think it's going to go anywhere between 20 to 30, depending, because that's going to be a really good match.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be solid. It'll probably be the last time they go off against each other, though, unless the rivalry just ends up becoming so good.
And also,
they just keep going with it.
And just thinking about what we've been talking about Bayley, when she's not going to show up, because Dana Brooks and Charlotte are facing Sasha Banks, and she has a secret partner.
Do you think it might be Bayley?
I would hope so. And I'm just going to tune in and see this Sunday. That'd be kind of like the perfect thing, because she has that it factor, and them two in real life are really best friends. Bayley and Sasha. And it's like anybody that'll have her back would be Bayley.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It might be one of those things where Bayley makes her debut with them and it's all good, and then Sasha does like a heel turn on her or something. But, I mean, they're not fighting for... Well, I mean, the match isn't for any belts, is it?
No, it's just pretty much like a grudge match a little bit. And then I believe that Sasha Banks will get her title match at SummerSlam. And that's pretty much what they're saving it up for.
Yeah, well, like, I don't know. The women's division is primed to just go off. What they need is like a fatal four-way match for the women's championship, and they should give it its own pay-per-view. I mean, they have the talent for it. The time just strikes now. Like, people will watch it.
And they're talented. They're talented enough and athletic enough to even do like a four-way ladder match if they wanted to.
Maybe. I mean, it has... Stuff like that has to happen. It'll probably be the first time it'll ever happen when they do choose to do it. Stephanie McMahon really seems to be the one really pushing this agenda. Mm-hmm. And this is good because it's good for everybody. Good for men, good for women, good for wrestling fans.
And what's good with the draft, too, you're going to have fresh matches because after a while, things get stale.
Yeah,
and
well, this will be a regular thing. They're going to turn this into a pay-per-view eventually. They're going to go ahead and they're going to have the pay-per-view draft. And people will go ahead and then they'll have all these matches going on with it, and then they'll get to play around with storylines and politics as it goes because of people doing matches and stuff. It'll probably happen again.
I'm surprised that they haven't had trades, because the last draft they had trades.
If they find a way to work it in. I mean, the roster's pretty massive. Like, they split up... It's about... so Raw gets 3 for every 2 SmackDown has.
Yes.
And it looks like the roster's 60 people. So it's a 40-20 mix. So that's going to, like... I don't know. It's going to make SmackDown seem a little more exclusive. They're going to have some... Probably have to build them up more on the actual storylines between the actual wrestlers that they have. Probably a lot of stuff with Bray Wyatt and with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, it seems that we've had a very, very captivating WWE cast yet again this week. Guys, do we have any closing remarks here today in regards to what we've been talking about in regards to WWE?
I think things are going to definitely be exciting to see what happens, because they just did a draft and pretty soon they're going to actually be doing storylines. So
yeah,
we'll see if they can live up to their own hype in the hype machine.
Definitely seems like it's almost like a clean reset of the WWE universe. So you're going to get some fresh storylines, some fresh beefs, and it'll also be interesting to see who else who have not been drafted yet, who else gets drafted where and why.
Looking at some other things, maybe a little free agency. Get some free agency, maybe.
Yeah,
Some
Get
trades.
Get some
fake trades.
Fake sports stuff.
And
well, all that stuff is so much fun, So,
Pretty soon you'll have your own app, draft your own wrestling squad.
it's going to be a good time to be a wrestling fan again. That's
Yeah.
what it's going to be. It's like you always see like different eras and everything like that, and like you have like good moments in wrestling, then you have like a little bit of like a 4-year like dry period, and you have something fresh and new.
exactly.
I just think this all started when Shane McMahon came back.
Yeah, he was able to breathe a lot of life into current WWE continuity.
And then between that, NXT started developing people like crazy, people who were hurt, healed. Now all of a sudden you got all this talent.
Right.
And yes, very, 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 very exciting. Very.
Now I understand. You say it's a good time to be a wrestling fan. I understand that there's going to be a good time if you're a wrestling fan this weekend in Lowell, Massachusetts.
In Pawtucket, Rhode Island.
Pawtucket, sorry.
In McCoy Stadium, big time wrestling. They're featuring Sting, who's going to be there to do meet and greets.
Wow.
It's going to be, they have meet and greets from 6 to 8, then 8 o'clock is bell time. You have Damian Sandow's going to be there, Raven, Gangrel, Teddy Long.
Wow.
Rhino, all those guys.
Oh, they got some big names that are going to be there. That's going to be so much fun. So you two are going to have to
take pictures.
Well, certainly. I mean, we'll throw them up on the blog, and then also, when we meet next week, we'll get to hear some stories about what you guys, meeting Sting and all those other
I'll
guys.
Snapchat it and make me and Sting look like dogs.
You can even you can do that if you want to.
He hasn't done it already.
All right. Well, this has been yet another captivating episode of the Vigilant Geek podcast. Thank you very much for listening. I am Andrew PUZAK of Vigilant Geek Media, and with me, as always,
Holden Orme of Vigilant Geek Media.
and we want to thank Vin Scorpion for being back on the show again this week with all of his amazing wrestling knowledge.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here.
And as always, stay vigilant!